So today we are going to be talking about expectation. Now that word, I know a lot of people struggle with expectation throughout their life. See, expectation is from the moment we were born in this world. It starts from our parents. Their expectation for us is very depressing sometimes. You know what I mean? Not that it's not good for a parent to want to see good thing for their child. But at the same time, you got to try and understand your child. You know what I mean? You can't think that because your neighbor child is more advanced in school, that means your child should be that way. Sometimes you're going to have kids that are much slower than some kids. You know what I mean? That don't mean that they are not smart. They are, but they just do things at a slower pace. You know what I mean? So sometimes the parent expectation of their child, it puts so much pressure on them. The child is sometimes so stressed, but they don't say nothing. Reason being, they are trying to do what their mom say. Otherwise, they want to make sure that whatever their mom say get done. You know what I mean? Because this is what my mom expect from me, so I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? And then when that child tries their best, it's like their best is not good enough for the parent. And the parent don't realize that, listen, your child is not your neighbor child. You know what I mean? And then here comes the school now. Education now. In the school system, their expectation is that if you are not doing your work to a certain level, you cannot move on to the next grade. No, that's good and it's bad in a way, because most of the teachers, they don't try to spend time to help that kid, to see where that kid is weak or where that child need help. Listen now, I say, most teachers, you know what I mean? Because guess what you're saying? Oh, I don't have time. Other kids want to learn. You know what I mean? So your expectation for that child is that that child is already failed without you even trying to help that child. You know what I mean? So think about how depressing and stressful that is going to be, because your mom or your dad is expecting you to get a certain grades. If you don't get a certain grades, you cannot move on to the next grade. You know what I mean? So expectation, it's good and it's bad. You know what I mean? It's just how people deal with it. You know what I mean? If a child is slow, you gotta take your time with that child. You get what I'm saying? And then now you have, after you go through all of that expectation throughout your childhood, now comes your job. Expectation again. You know what I mean? Your boss expect you to be a certain way, expect you to do your work a certain way, when sometimes you try as hard as possible to make sure that you please your boss, and then by the end of the day, it's like, oh, you still didn't do that the right way. When, to be frank, sometimes their expectation has nothing to do with you. Sometimes everything is about them. You know what I mean? They think that you should be this way because they are that way, which is wrong. You know what I mean? Expectation make people don't even know who they are, because they spend all their life trying to be someone else, trying to please someone else, and not really sitting down and looking and say, who I am. You don't even know yourself. You don't know what you're capable of, because guess what? You're there stressing yourself trying to please other people. You get what I'm saying? And the only way you're gonna know yourself is to be yourself. You gotta be yourself to know yourself. You know what I mean? The moral of the story is always try to do things that you can handle, that you can manage. Don't try to do things because of other people expectation. Expectation will make you give up in life, will make you feel like, then who am I? You know what I mean? You gotta live your life for you. Don't live your life because another person expect you to live it a certain type of way. You know what I mean? Not that you're gonna live your life all worthless and all careless. You get what I'm saying? But when you try to live for other people, you're gonna have problems. That is why most people don't know their self, don't know who they are. You know what I mean? So this is for parent. You gotta know your child. Don't try to compare your child with another person's child. You know what I mean? Don't expect your child to get a 90% when you don't even spend time to help that child to get that 90%. Just sending them to school, that's not enough. Sometimes you gotta sit with your child. You know what I mean? You gotta see what's going on. You gotta see which area they're weak in. Because that's not only the teacher job, that's also your job. You know what I mean? So, expectation, it can be good and it can be bad. But the key thing, you got to be yourself to know yourself.